Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. If you're listening to us, you'd rather watch us, go on our YouTube channel, The Stephen Knight Show. Or you can go to our anchor page, The Stephen Knight Show, to listen to us on our podcast. It has all the areas you can listen to us. I want to remind everyone to please vote. Early voting has started in so many states right now. I know in Georgia it started today, so please vote. Also, happy Indigenous People Day. Some people call it Columbus Day. We call it Happy Indigenous People Day. I want to shout out to all you out there. And then also subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Stephen Knight Show. Subscribe, like, and comment. We definitely appreciate your feedback. And unfortunately, our Instagram page was hacked over the weekend, and so we started a new one. Hopefully, we'll get the old one back, but go to our new one for now. It's TSK_show, The Stephen Knight Show. So TSK_show. Show us some love and comment on our content. We definitely appreciate you. Now, as you know, Ms. Parker has decided to take some extended time since we come back from our break, and so we've had a series of female, intelligent, has it going on co-hosts to join us, and we are continuing that tonight with Lania Love. She's a very talented woman. I'm gonna let her introduce herself and tell a little about herself. Excuse me.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Lania Love. I am a producer, an actor, content creator,
Yes.
and overall multifaceted, multi-talented, not just one-dimensional Black woman.
Come on. That is all facts. All facts. So are you working on anything right now? I know COVID has been kind of crazy for everyone. How are you doing with all that, first of all?
I'm gonna say I'm doing okay. I've been doing a lot of auditions. My film is officially in post-production. My feature film Providence is in post-production.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And there is a pilot for a web series called The Introvert Life that's also in post-production as well. I did that with my girl Tiffany Yancey.
Yeah.
And I recently started my own podcast called Create Some Ish.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that, and just doing a lot of auditions. And I actually during COVID, I got booked for 2 testimonial jobs, which was my first time ever.
Wow.
I can't wait to see that on TV.
Yeah. Well, tell what the listeners and viewers where they can keep up with you on your social media.
I am Lania Love, Lynia. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook, and my website is www.lanialove.com, and you will see everything Lania Love. You'll see my production company, Lady Love Productions. You'll see the podcast, Create Some Ish. You'll see things that I've done, things that I'm doing, and everything that I have going on and that I love when it comes to doing this.
Most definitely. And y'all definitely want to check her out. A treat, definitely a treat. Well, as we said earlier, but first, before we go into a Chike, my man, how are you doing? Not only were we hacked, you were hacked over the weekend. You want to talk about that?
I'm angry. I'm really angry. Both the Stephen Knight Show page and my page were both hacked. This is 11 years of content we put on the internet and our social media, and my Facebook as well was hacked. So, So I want to say this. I know exactly why it was hacked, and it came from a hating source. So there was a post that I put up. It was pretty political, and I had some haters come on my page and comment, and I clapped back, and then I blocked. So obviously they did not like the blocking, so they reported my page as something foul, lewd, wrong, a disturbance. And Instagram and Facebook decided to cancel me because I decided to state my opinion. Just tell people to be alert. People are hypersensitive now as it relates to the overall theme of things going on, and they're attacking you electronically by trying to silence your voice. Let's not have it. Continue to speak your speak, talk your talk.
And my thing, what happened to freedom of speech, and what happened to an investigation? You know what I mean? Because when the page went down, I was like, what happened? They said violation of code. And, it's one thing I know that Facebook and Twitter and well, Facebook, Instagram, same owner, they have been very monitoring misinformation as relates to voting and COVID-19. But I get that. But I'm talking about freedom of speech. And the post that you reshared was not even, it was encouraging people to vote.
Right.
It's, I don't know. Hopefully we'll get it back.
And what I don't understand is on Twitter, you have, even on Instagram, you have people putting up straight up doodads and whatnots on their feed, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We talk about that
on Instagram as well.
We talk about that all the time. If I log on one more time and I see somebody's behind in their nether regions, as soon as I see that, I block. Like, I'm not going to report you, but guess what? If I want to see it, I'm going to unfollow you and I'm going to block you and keep it moving. But it's amazing how that stuff can stay up and nobody says anything. But when you say something that someone doesn't agree with, because I know that we listen to the other side. If we don't like what they have to say, we keep it moving.
Right.
I'm not gonna stop your freedom of speech.
And block you, right?
Block you, but you have a problem with what I'm saying, and you go about it in a cowardly way.
Yeah, I agree. Well, as we said, early voting has started in many states, and more than 8 million people have already voted. Some people in Georgia had to wait in lines of 8 hours long. So our question of the day is, how will you, Lynia, how will you be voting this year?
So this will be my first time doing mail-in voting. I'm in Pennsylvania, and I did a local election mail-in vote for the first time. So what I did was, once I filled out my ballot, I physically went to the ballot location to drop off my ballot. So I'm still waiting for the presidential ballot. I've been checking the website and the status. They said they mailed it out on 10/2. It is now 10/12. So I'm still waiting. And once I get it, I'm gonna fill it out, and I'm physically taking it to the ballot box and dropping it off.
Most definitely. Chike?
So I too am voting via mail for the first time, and my ballot already came. I still vote in Jersey. And actually, I believe they were trying to set me up because I got 2 ballots sent to me. And you know how the guy in that office was telling everybody to vote twice. I want people to know that that is a crime. Do not vote twice.
It is.
If you send in a mail-in ballot and you show up at the polls and you've already voted and that vote counts, that is an attempt of a crime.
Yeah.
So I will advise people, if you do mail-in voting, please check vote.org to check up on your ballot, because they will tell you, they'll let you know what's going on with your ballot, if it's been received or not. So my plan, because you have to plan to vote, my plan is, if that ballot does not make it there, let's say a week before, then I'm going to go there and I want to speak to a representative, because they do have representatives at the polling place, and have my other ballot filled out and ready to go. But I'm going to ask questions. I'm not going to assume that I can vote. I'm going to ask questions. And if that other ballot has not made it, I will ask if they can accept this one. But definitely ask questions. Vote.org to follow up on your ballots. Stay informed, people.
Most definitely. I'll be dropping mine off in person as well. I have to see ballot, but I received something in the mail. If you're in Georgia, and what they said is early voting started. It's from October 12th to 30th. If you're voting absentee, return your ballot at the drop-off in your county where you're registered, or in person at the county elections office, or mail it in by October 24th. So that's if you're in Georgia. But if in any other states, check and find out what the rules and guidelines are for your state and make sure your voice is heard. So definitely vote.
And I just want to add, people, please read the instructions carefully.
Yes.
They are very intricate. If you do not follow the instructions carefully, your vote can be disclaimed. It can be thrown out. So definitely pay attention.
Right.
Definitely in Pennsylvania, because that person over in the White House, he just lost his second suit. He was trying to sue Pennsylvania again in regards to mail-in voting. A federal judge knocked it down. Like, no, dog, like, no, we can't know. Like stop it. Right. So make sure you read and fill out properly. It would say black or blue ink.
Yeah.
And just for educational purposes, Pennsylvania is one of those swing states. So he's focusing on this particular state because it's part of the electoral college.
Yep.
And right now it can go either way. So
Either
he's
way.
fighting tooth and nail to keep it.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Well, tweet us at home and let us know how will you be voting. Stephen Knight Show, SHO. All right, coronavirus update. We're up to 215,000 deaths. Now, Trump is saying, if you remember, he tested positive. He was hospitalized for about 3 or 4 days. And miraculously, he's feeling better where he couldn't really breathe on the White House steps. But now they're saying he's tested negative for coronavirus consecutively. They won't say when he tested, and they won't even say when he contracted the virus. But he's back on the campaign trail, holding large rallies, mostly without mask. Today he's in Florida, or earlier today he was in Florida where he held a rally where he threw mask into a maskless crowd at his rally. He's also seen walk into Air Force One without a mask on. Others around him had on masks. He did not. And then they have canceled as a result of him testing positive. And I guess not being transparent with what's going on with him, they've canceled the second presidential debate, which was supposed to be today. What are your thoughts on the leadership? Well, first of all, for your lifestyle and how you moved, through COVID, against the misinformation we're getting, Lynia?
Just know I don't trust anything that's coming out of 1600 at all.
Right.
At all.
Yeah.
And like Chike said, like it's so important, especially for our people, to research and read and not just take things for face value, because the other election that happened, what happened, where they were really working on shifting and pushing people away from voting for Hillary Clinton. And technically it kind of worked to a certain extent. So you have to really, not everything that you see online is true. It's not, people are like, oh, I saw it on the internet. I still need people to read and really research in regards to finding out information. And I continue to look at stuff from the CDC, and I'll listen to whatever credible doctor, that knows what they're talking about, because this thing is real. I know people who have had it, and I'm terrified of getting it because my parents are older and I'm taking care of them.
Right, yeah.
So
exactly.
It's too real for me to be playing around like other people.
Mm-hmm. And what people don't realize is that the care that he received, the president received, we're not getting that care. The medication he gave him has not even been FDA approved, but it's for people who it's dire need, and they don't have enough of it to pass around. So you're not getting that same level of team of doctors that's going to watch over you and take care of you with these experimental drugs as the president would get. So keep that in mind. Chike, what are your thoughts?
Irresponsibility, 360 degrees. Like Lania said, honestly, the 1600, that building, that space is contaminated. And he's constantly returning back there as home base. And no one's talked about fumigation. No one's talked about what they've done to make it a better place to work or to live, for that matter. Let's keep in mind that Lan is what I call her, Melania Trump. Lan is positive as well. She hasn't been outside the house. She's still there. What's going on with that?
Right.
So you have this person who is, you don't even know what he is at this point. If he's positive, if he's negative, you can't believe what they say. But if you were positive, which he was, why aren't you showing how you come back from being positive to get back to a healthy state if you're the leader of the free world? Why aren't you showing how you take care of post-contamination in your domicile? This is educational. This is an opportunity for him to do better, and he's failed.
Yep.
He fails every time.
And, they lied about him being tested daily. He was not tested daily. They think he may have been positive at the time of the debate.
No, he didn't. He was supposed to he was supposed to get tested before that debate.
Yep.
And he didn't do it. And he didn't do it on purpose.
Oh, wait a minute. Add to that. He didn't test because he was late, because he was at a fundraising situation.
In a
and
house.
Two other situations. He went to a private house, and then he went to a country club, which they stressed that there were older people there. So basically, all those people have a potential of being COVID positive because of him.
Well, speaking of your president, so he had a lot to, he usually has a lot to say about people he doesn't agree with, and now he's going after LeBron James. So ironically, before LeBron played in the 4th NBA championship ring the other day, first of all, shout out to Lakers for winning the championship. When he was speaking at the Rush Limbaugh show, he called LeBron a nasty spokesman for the Democratic Party and alluded to the idea of him ruining professional basketball games with his political commentary. So LeBron is a spokesman for the Democratic Party, and a very nasty spokesman. Because again, I've done so much for Black community, and people don't want to see that. And he's a great basketball player, but people don't want to see that guy that way. He goes on and calls LeBron James a hater and expresses that people will no longer watch professional basketball because of him. They don't want to see that. We've had enough of difficulty during the week. You don't want to sit down and watch basketball game and then watch someone that hates your guts. Okay, he's a hater. So I look at it that's how he looks at it. And says NBA, he can't, and he won't watch it. Nobody's watching. The ratings are down the tubes. He's all about the ratings. And as you know, LeBron James has been very outspoken about Black Lives Matter, Breonna Taylor, and issues of the African American community. What are your thoughts? We know this is what he does. What are your thoughts on this, Lania?
I'm over it. I don't even like to hear him talk. I'm just going to be honest. Like it irks my soul, and I can't. And even looking at him, I know how old I am. Chike know how old he is. You know how old you are. In the years that we've all been alive, we've never had a person in the White House speak like this.
Yes.
Ever. It doesn't matter who it was. We've never had a person in the White House speak the way that he does. What person have you ever heard say hater?
Right.
And worried about race? This is not The Apprentice. This is not what this is a game for him. And he's playing, and the people that are suffering are us.
Yeah.
We're the pawns that are playing in his game.
Yep.
Even though he don't realize he's a pawn too.
Right. So. And, even after the horrible display at the debate he did, the first presidential debate he did, his whole takeaway was the number of ratings. When you like a fool out there because you didn't know what you're talking about, he worried about ratings. I mean, there is something terribly wrong with this man. I'm sorry. Something terribly wrong with him. Chike, what are your thoughts on all this?
So let's keep it, as they say, a bean. Let's keep it all the way 100. He is not really upset at what LeBron is saying. He is mad at what LeBron is doing. Yeah. This man has now opened up some arenas to be polling places, which will allow voting to happen more freely. He's an enemy of the state at this point, as far as that man is concerned. He is putting a wrench in his program. Between the whole gerrymandering and sending broken equipment to polling places and shutting down certain polling places, LeBron James, because he has the resources, him and friends have got together and started opening up other polling places, and they're opening up arenas because it has the space.
Right.
And what it's allowing is for more people to go physically vote. This is why he's mad at LeBron James. He's not mad at what that man said. He's mad at what he's doing. Get over it. You're out of there.
He don't even watch basketball. He don't even watch football.
Right.
Get out of here.
Well, look, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with a few more hot topics right back after this.